Are the Puma Fast R3 Nitro Elite 3 the best super shoes on the market in 2025? Puma says they're 3.5% more efficient than any other super shoes on the market, including the Nike AlphaFly 3, which currently are the world record holder in the male and female in the marathon. So that's a bold claim. So today I'm putting both to the test, Puma versus Nike, to see which one truly delivers the edge and which one works best for my running form and my running style. Little disclaimer, this could be different for everybody, just depends on how tall you are, your weight, your like everything. So just do your own research before you decide. But this is my test.
I am currently at BYU doing a super shoe test comparing the two most high demand super shoes in the market, right? And you ask, what two super shoes are you choosing, Hobbs? I am racing a marathon in about 5.5 weeks. And so I got to figure out what shoes works best for me, biomechanic wise. And so today, this test is not opinion based. This is all fact based. And so the two most popular super shoes in the current market are the Nike AlphaFly 3s and the Puma the Puma Fast R Nitro Elite 3s are the two most popular high demand super shoes in the market right now that are available in the market. The Asics might come in, the Asics Metaspeed Sky Tokyo version, whatever, I think would be next in line, but those don't get released until August. And so I'm not gonna be able to get my hands on those pairs. And so yeah, today we're doing the test. Will the Puma Fast R3s be better for my running style, my biomechanics, or is it gonna be a fresh pair of Nike AlphaFly 3s. For this test, I don't want to be biased, I don't want to be anything, and so it's strictly fact-based. Like strictly fact-based, right? And so for this test, we're gonna do is fresh pair of both shoes. I've never worn any, well, I have like multiple pairs of these, but this, I got a fresh pair of each shoes to test out which one is better for me. And so I've never ran a single step in either one. And so I wanted to keep the test as consistent as possible, right? And so that is by making sure both of these shoes are brand new, out of the box, still in the box test, right? So let's go and test them out. For this test, we're gonna be measuring stride length, power input of how much force I'm putting down to the ground, and then oxygen intake. And so those are the three main factors that will determine which shoes I go with. So like I have a breathing apparatus or whatever you call that thing. And yeah, like hopefully Dr. Ian will explain this better than I will. But yeah, that's why he's the expert in the field. All right, gotta get going.
As I'm ending the video, I never really truly told you guys what the test is. The test is 40 minutes long, and it's pretty much alternating shoes. So the test is 40 minutes. It's 8 segments of 5 minutes on, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes, like switching shoes every 5 minutes. So the order that I personally wanted to go in, and the order Dr. Ian wants us to go in, is the shoes that I feel like I feel most confident in. And so I went AlphaFly 3s, Pumas, AlphaFly 3s, AlphaFly 3s, Puma, AlphaFly 3s. So you start and finish with the same shoes. Each of them is 5 minute segments at 6 minutes per mile average. Well, I don't know per average. It's 6 minute pace for 5 minutes. And then you do that, you switch shoes. You do that, switch shoes. And so that's the test to test the whole super shoe thing. I did other stuff before, but that was just a lot of just chaos, just because the treadmill broke, yada 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 yada. There's other stuff, but once I put on the mask, that's officially when the test began. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh. There's a lot of people.
Okay, let's try it. So we'll do the oxygen even during the warm-up.
Yeah.
So that everything's doing what it should before really running.
Okay.
So go ahead and step on, and then they'll get you fitted with the full mask. Then you can speak a little bit.
Does this still have like the force impact on the
No,
or just
but if
breathing?
we want measures there, we can just head to the other lab and do a minute in each shoe or something. Yeah, I went back and forth because it's nice to have that during this test, but it's just not as accurate on the oxygen. And that's important. That's more
oxygen,
important for this one.
So here we're measuring just oxygen intake and
That's it.
That's pretty much it. Okay.
And it's ready to go. 57.7. And what's your height?
5'6".
Sorry.
That's great.
After the warm up, we can do a little adjustment if we need to. Also.
It's pretty loose on his forehead.
Hello. It was probably me not knowing what I was doing. Checked his speed before. Is anything too uncomfortable?
I mean, it just feels weird having to breathe through my mouth.
We go to 6-minute pace.
I'm too strong. I broke the treadmill.
What's that?
If you guys want my spit, free spit for anyone that wants it. $10. Well, like I said, it's like it feels like I'm drowning my own spit. Like there's just so much spit in there. Yeah, because I couldn't breathe this, so I have to breathe through here, and then I'm still saliva everywhere. There's just like she's like I'm drowning. And so yeah, I like the other test better. The other test I can breathe through nose and mouth. You? Until recently, yes. After the summertime, the weather's way better here than it is in Arizona.
Yeah,
Arizona is just so hot all the time.
Married in this.
I told you this lab was better. I like this lab. This looks more official.
It's cleaner too.
It's good.
We have more say in what happens in this lab than that one. We have about 20 cameras connected right now.
20 cameras?
Yeah. So Hobbs, you want kind of the same type of warm-up, or you just want to go straight into 6?
Straight into 6.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, you ready, Hobbs?
Yeah.
Treadmill start. You in 3, 2, 1. So I'll give you about a minute before I get the clock in. Do about 30 seconds left.
All right. First run in these bad boys. These feel so weird. Like it's so pointed.
I already did a AlphaFly collection. Alright, treadmill starting in 3, 2, 1. The same thing with this, I'll give you about a minute. Just get into the students. I'll do about 30 seconds left.
How do they feel to run in? Is it?
I actually liked them. I mean, it depends on if you're a heel striker versus a toe striker, I think.
Yeah.
If you're a heel striker, you're kind of cooked because there's not much.
There's not. Yeah. Okay, you're good there. Perfect. Thanks.
Puma, it's not looking good. You might be cooked. So far, AlphaFly is winning. Sorry. Not sorry. So far, I'm putting down more force, and I'm putting down more force. I'm more efficient in the AlphaFly so far.
How do you know what efficiency is on that?
It's just, I don't know. Like I said, we were talking about earlier. It's like it doesn't necessarily mean putting down more force. It means more, but I'm putting down more force in the AlphaFlies than the Pumas. But again, more force doesn't mean faster either. Like maybe for the shorter events, like maybe a half marathon and 10K, putting down more force, that's going faster pace. But I'm not trying to go faster. I'm trying to just be efficient at 5 flat. And so, yeah. I think the main factor is going to be my stride length. That's what's going to decide which shoes I pick, which will take a minute or two to figure out. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all about the facts, no opinions. This guy's slow, and so is that guy.
All right, thanks, guys. Yep, see ya. Yeah, have a great day.
Every slow person's been in here. Because I can clearly see just whoosh.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was people who had been training in them.
Yeah.
And we've seen it with Connor that he, just like you, used to be better in the AlphaFly 1s than the AlphaFly 3s. Trained in the AlphaFly 3s a lot, and then came in for the Olympics and he was better in the 3s. Kind of makes sense intuitively, but...
Well, yeah, your training kind of changed your biomechanics a little bit every time you wear different shoes.
And you get used to it a little bit more, and this kind of novelty a little bit affects your metabolics. So I think if it was a bunch of people that were wearing the Pumas exclusively, the AlphaFlies...
Well, they're probably going from Puma, the first version to the second version. That's all that's happening.
Yeah, or even they were already using the other version.
Yeah.
So that's my theory. The speeds don't exactly line up with that.
Yeah.
But hearing that Adam was one of the people for it.
Yeah, they did take some like social media influencers and tested the shoes as well. They let them bring whatever shoes they want and then test it out. Like so that was between like Saucony, the Endorphins, and Nike, and a couple of Adidas.
Have you seen the Endorphins? Pick one of those up.
Yeah, I've felt the foams and how soft they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like they might be too soft.
They're pretty
Wild.
I don't get how Addison works out at 5 a.m. I worked out with him this morning. Oh yeah. It's just like it's just a grind. Like it's just like the 5 a.m. grinds are just insane. Like I mean, I feel amazing when I'm done with the workout, but it's just like the initial start. I woke up this morning. I laid in bed for 10 minutes procrastinating. I'm like, I don't want to wake up. And then we finished the workout. I'm like, I feel good about this. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do the rest of the day. It's because I have a massage with Jake at 1, and so I'm like, I'm not gonna work out between this test and the massage. I don't like working out after a massage, and so I was like, I want to knock it out.
We have 22 miles to do today, right?
Today's probably gonna be like 30.
So
it's fine.
Is part of the day. Right?
Exactly. I planned it just accordingly. I'm like 6 flats shouldn't take a lot out of me, and so I was like, this will be perfect. And this will be simulating miles 20 to 26. The test was my guess.
What was the workout?
Ks, 12 times a K, alpha 90-second rest. And we weren't going insanely fast. I mean, in comparison to what I do with Connor and Clayton. Because I think last time I did with Connor and Clayton, I averaged 249. This time I averaged 257. So it's a little more chill.
Yeah.
So I was telling Addison, I'm like, starting at 306 feels way better than starting at 250 and just suffering the rest of the workout. Like this is the first time I ever negative split a workout. Because every other time I just get caught up in their vortex and just go with them.
Yeah.
And then I suffer the last 6 reps. They get faster the last 6 reps.
Right.
Yeah.
Just oxygen. Now we're testing out my oxygen intake and just how efficiently I'm breathing, and it's about efficiency and how efficient I am while breathing in that shoes. Does it make sense? I think they'll explain it better after the test.
Do you know why this shoe would make a difference in the way that you breathe?
Just, I don't know. You gotta ask them. I'm the wrong person to be asking these kind of questions. I just do what I'm told, and they'll tell me which one is better at the end of the day. The one thing I don't like about these shoes is the shoelaces are thick. For how light of a shoes is supposed to be, the shoelaces are very thick.
Is that better?
Yeah.
until I put on the mask.
3, 2, 1, start. And swap shoes.
Right, go starting in 3, 2, 1.
I'm drenched. That was hard, especially after the workout. You see that? That's butt sweat. I think, in my opinion, I don't think I'm more efficient in this. It did not feel these shoes did not feel efficient. The Pumas felt so hard to run in. And it's probably because that was my first run in them.
Okay, Luke, you're okay, Hobbs. Which one's better?
I think AlphaFly's. It feels better. AlphaFly's 3s feel way better than the Pumas. I know the Pumas are like a little lighter too. Like what you said was like 170 versus 200 or 180.
Yeah, they were a little bit.
It's just I don't know if less stack height feel is necessarily good for me. Like I like being bouncy. Like it feels
Yeah.
better.
Right.
And so the Pumas did not feel like that. I felt like I was pounding
Yeah.
the whole time.
So in the range of what we'd say here's the right value,
Yeah.
it's somewhere between -0.6 to 1.4, with the Puma being a little favorable.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the direction I'm thinking there is correct, right? Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
So that negative would be.
It seems like the Puma maybe has a slight advantage,
Yeah.
but not by much.
Which
And then
one was?
You got to consider
yeah.
how do your legs feel with
The
10K to
pounding.
go
Yeah.
and those kind of questions.
I was a smidgest more efficient in the Pumas than I was in the Nikes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the Pumas were 3.5% better. It's that like my running form is very like symmetric both ways, and so there were some benefits as well as non-benefits. I don't know what the other word I was looking for, but yeah. So the Nikes, I guess let's go with the Pumas first. The Pumas were not 3.5% better. It was like closer to 1% better, but I was putting down more force. But more force doesn't necessarily mean faster. Well, it does mean faster, but it doesn't mean more efficient than a marathon. If I was running a 10K or a half, I would probably lean towards the Pumas. But since I'm running a marathon, I am more efficient, and I'm not pounding my legs as much in the Nikes. And so I think the test says I'm more efficient than the Pumas, but I think I'll be better in the Nikes when it comes to later in the race, like mile 20, mile 22, 23. I'm gonna feel fresher because I'm not pounding my legs as much. And so I think at the end of the day, the decision is gonna be probably Nikes, but I still have 5 weeks to decide. And so, all right, let's walk to the car.